All right. Hi, sugar pie. How's it going? Hope it's going well for you wherever you are at in the world today. Hope it is a beautiful day. I hope you're feeling good. I hope you're looking good, smelling good. Everything's good, 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 good. uh, it's pretty beautiful over in my neck of the woods. I think spring has finally sprung and it is warm and lovely and time for your girl to start getting out and walking more, like I said. Consistency. Anywho, I'm pretty sure my left eye might have what is it called? Conjunctivitis, also known as pink eye. My niece had it not too long ago. She had pink eye, and as you know, I babysit her, and she doesn't have it now, but it was like a week ago or so. But then ended up giving it to my brother. My brother caught it, and I think my mom caught it. But it's very mild. It's not like crazy, whatever. But I'm pretty sure that I'm getting it now. Is that how it works? Does it just go through like that, like a cold? I don't know. I can't remember ever having it before. But yeah, anywho, uh, I've been, cleaning it, cool water. I did a little research on how to take care of it at home just in case. And, said something about washing it with cold water and don't touch your other eye and washing your hands. I have antibacterial soap. Anywho, that's how Sarah is doing today. Anyway, okay. Enough catching up. We can catch up more later. Today, I want to talk about the Idaho 4 case. We all know about it. The whole Brian Koberger is the suspect who has not been charged with anything yet. I mean, we can all assume that he's probably more than likely the dude that did it. But I mean, everybody deserves a free trial or a fair trial. I don't know why I always want to say free. But this is America. Everybody gets a fair trial. He hasn't been convicted yet, even though we have our assumptions. I mean, all the evidence is pointing to you did it, bro. But you know how it is. Anyway, there's some new videos on here that have been popping up about this case that I haven't really watched yet because I wanted to watch with you guys. But as you can see, I use StreamYard to schedule this one and not restream. So I won't be sharing the videos to where you guys can watch them with me. I'm just going to have to watch them and you guys are going to have to listen and then we're going to have to give our opinions and stuff like that. There's some new things going on and yeah, I want to talk about it. I know I watched something. I watched a video Christina Randall did. You all know Christina, we love her. We respect her. She does good work. She's respectful and we love the respectful channels who don't feed the drama and whatever. But she did a video and I watched it, and I guess he had an arraignment. He had his arraignment, whatever, or something. I did not watch it. Oh my God, my eye is bothering me so bad, you guys. Oh, I'm sorry. It's just driving me freaking crazy. I hate it even if I get an eyelash in my eye. Like, it'll drive me fucking insane. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Don't touch it, Sarah. Anywho, let's see what we can see here. Mother calls for death penalty in Idaho college student's murder case. Well, I would too. That is CBS News. This was a day ago. And I know that if you just play, like, if I just play the, if we do it like this, where I'm not popping the video up and it's just the sound that you can't strike anybody for that. But I'm not gonna take any chances when it comes to CBS News. Just saying. Oh, Law and Crime Network. I know. Brian Koberger's lawyers flooded with evidence as accused Idaho murderer gets love letters in jail. What? Love letters? Well, should I be surprised, though? Should I be surprised? Look at all of these weird women who sent Ted Bundy love letters, who sent Chris Watts love letters, who sent Charles Manson love letters and stuff. There's always those weird ass chicks that are like have some kind of a weird fascination with horrible, awful men, like cult leaders, murderers, whatever. And I don't know what it is. I know there's a term for it. I can't remember what the term is. If you guys can, if anybody watching knows what the term is for when these chicks are infatuated with murderers and stuff like that, please let me know. Is it hybristophobia or some shit like that? I don't know. But if anybody knows the term for it, please educate me, please, because I can't remember what it is. Anyway, let's see. Who can we watch? There's Law and Crime, but I don't even want to chance it with those guys. Like I said, it's not like you guys are watching the video with me, so it can't be struck. You can't strike somebody just because of the sound. You know what I mean? I just need to know what's going on here. That was just 20 hours ago. I need to know what's going on. Brian Koberger. Okay, thank you, Amanda. Hybristophilia. Yeah, there we go. I was close. I was close there. But hey, what's up, girl? Brian Kober silently pleads not guilty. Not guilty as shocking revelation surface. Okay. This is from the Law and Crime Network, and I'm just gonna have to listen to it. I don't care. I mean, you can't get a strike for just playing the audio. Sexual intent for those. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, it's just weird. It's weird as shit. I don't understand it. I don't care how good looking any man is. Like Chris Watts, he's not a bad looking man. Ted Bundy wasn't a bad looking man. I don't care. if you are a murderer, that instantly makes me want to vomit, and I look at you like you are the scum of the earth.
Boost for the
Right.
fastest wireless speed.
Okay, let's.
Yes. You understand that? Yes.
Ryan Koberger is officially arraigned on murder and burglary charges for the brutal slayings of 4 college students. Sidebar host Anjanette Levy is reporting from outside the Idaho courthouse for the latest, and renowned attorney Ben Shue, who famously represented Johnny Depp, comes on to give his take on the latest in this high-profile case.
Okay.
Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber.
Hi, Jesse.
I have covered a lot of stories at Law and Crime, but if there's one thing I can tell.
Okay, do you want a cookie for that? I'm sorry. I have covered a lot of stories on Law and Crime. I'm sorry to clown on these guys because I do, I'm not subbed anymore. I don't know why. I thought I was. Maybe I wasn't all along. I don't know, but I watch a lot of, the crap on Law and Crime, like the Johnny Depp thing. I watched like all the stuff on, and the Kylie Rodney and all that stuff. I watched Law and Crime, but I heard that they're kind of dicky about if you use their content. They're pretty strike happy on that. But I some of these bigger ones, you got to be careful because if you're not clowning on somebody, odds are they're probably not going to strike you. But sometimes I can't help but clown on some of these people. I don't care, man. I don't. This channel is like, I don't know. There's something about it. The vibe is just like, eh. But I do occasionally watch, because, doesn't everybody who's into true crime watch Law and Crime Network? They have 4.68 million subscribers. Hello. Anyway, okay, I'm going to watch this. Let's listen and see what's going on here.
I can tell you throughout all of them is that you have to stay safe. And that's why I want to talk to you right now about palm pepper spray. This is a discreet but powerful personal defense tool that can really help. Palm pepper spray shoots up to 12 feet using the strongest legal
Here we
go.
Spray. Promoting.
It's super safe. It's easy to use. It's ready to fire. All you got to do is just point and spray.
It's always, yeah, I get it. That's how some of these channels anyway, like the bigger ones, that's how they make money, from sponsorships and stuff like that. And I get it. But oh my God, it's just like everybody's selling something. It could be like, look, I'm going to give you a scenario. Okay, I'm a famous YouTube channel. Hi, you guys. Today, I'm going to talk about 3 kids who drowned in the lake earlier this morning. Their mother was so depressed that she, unalived herself. Anyways, here is some AdamandEve.com. Use code blah 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 for 50% off your first purchase. That's AdamandEve.com. Anyway, back to the 3 children who passed away. You know what I mean? Very much that. It's just so weird to me. I get it, sponsorships, I get that concept and everything, yeah, but it's just really weird when you're talking about something like that. Like, I don't know. Is it just me? Because it might be. I don't know. Okay.
Best part, we got a promo code for you. You can save 10%.
Who cares about your stupid?
Each charge. Maximum sentences set right after death. He could be facing 10 years in prison, followed by 4 consecutive life sentences or death penalties. Fines of up to $200,000 and $20,000 paid directly to the families for any restitution resulting from
So as you know, Brian Koberger, the 28-year-old former PhD student at Washington State University, has been charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder and burglary in connection with the stabbing deaths of 4 University of Idaho students back on November 13th, 2022. 21-year-old Madison Mogan, 20-year-old Zana Kernodle, 20-year-old Ethan Chapin, and 21-year-old Kaylee Gonsalves. He was arrested 6 weeks after the killings at his parents' home. And after a grand jury indicted him on those charges, he was officially arraigned in court, where he chose actually to stand silent as not guilty pleas were entered on his behalf. For more on what happened inside of that courtroom, let me bring in my sidebar co-host, Anjanette Levy, who is in that Latah County.
That's very interesting. He's pleading not guilty. I mean, what the hell, bird? There's some weird-ass birds around this place. Anyway, I mean, I guess he thinks that he can beat this, and maybe he has some strong evidence where he can. I mean, it'd be awful if he really is the person who did this, and he gets off, like, because that's kind of scary. But I don't know. Anyway, look, guys, it's the dude from the Johnny Depp trial. Look, remember him? Remember that guy right there? It's the Johnny Depp guy. I forget his name. I seen his face and instantly made me think about that video that was going around where Johnny had some candies sitting on the desk and he reached over and grabbed some candies and was eating them. And Johnny looked at him like, "Hey, you stole my candy." And they both start giggling. That was like such a wholesome moment in that whole fiasco. Anyway, okay, let's hear what these people have to say here.
County courtroom for the arraignment. She's outside of the courthouse right now. And we are also joined by very special guest Ben Chu, who all of our law and crime followers will know as representing Johnny Depp in his famous trial from earlier last year. Ben, good to see you. Anjanette, good to see you. I'm going to start with you, Anjanette. You are outside the courthouse on what is a very windy day. Walk us through what you observed in that courtroom, because it's the first time we've seen Brian Koberger in about 4 months since his first appearance?
Well, Jesse, thanks for having me. And it is a windy day, but yet a beautiful day, a sunny day here in Moscow, Idaho.
Lovely.
Brian Koberger entered the courtroom looking much like he did when we saw him back in January.
So creepy. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be that way. Lord, please forgive me. But just looking at him, the way he walks, just the way he looks, holds himself, he's just creepy. That doesn't mean that he did this, but that's just because he looks creepy doesn't mean that he did this, even though, I mean, there's a lot of evidence. But yeah, he just has a creepy vibe about him. But like I said, I have met a lot of creepy dudes, and they weren't necessarily like murderers or anything like that. But anyway, let's keep going.
And Taylor, they sat down at the counsel table, and you didn't really see much reaction from him. He looked straight ahead. He was brought in right before the hearing started. You could tell they had met and really laid out how they were going to do this from a security perspective, to ensure everything went in an orderly fashion by bringing the media in, bringing the family members in, et cetera, et cetera. So basically he came in, the judge took the bench, Judge John Judge, and he asked Brian Koberger whether or not he understood his rights. And
I have actually been a customer of BetterHelp for a little over 2 years.
Oh my God, I'm so tired of hearing about that BetterHelp shit. Don't go to BetterHelp. I'm sorry.
Questions about what
but
you like
the way that it's being pushed, it makes me not want to use it. It's just weird. I don't know. You guys know how I think about the government. Go to an actual real therapist if you want to go get some therapy, psychiatrist, whatever. Actually go to one. I actually do your research before you go to one too. Just don't go all willy-nilly. Figure out who they are, where they want to, I'm sure that's okay to do research on your therapist. Be like, okay, where did you go to school? Where did you get your, whatever. Where did you get your degrees, your schools, whatever. Where are your credentials? There we go. I mean, I'm sure that's perfectly legal. Do your research before. Don't just go all willy-nilly, oh, BetterHelp, because they're pushing this so hard that it just makes me like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Sorry, my freaking eye is really bothering me. I'm trying not to touch it, dudes. I'm really, ugh. Maybe I should take some Benadryl or something. But I don't want to get sleepy. I got things to do. What a conundrum. Anyway, let's keep listening now.
He did. He said yes. He answered yes very emphatically and forcefully to each question that was asked. Then the judge read the charges to him. It was 1 burglary count and then the 4 murder charges. He said that he understood the charges, the penalties that came with each charge should he be convicted. And he said he understood his right to a speedy trial. As you mentioned, Ann Taylor, his defense attorney, said that they would stand silent. So Judge entered not guilty pleas on his behalf. She also said
Judge.
She wanted a trial.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but his last name is Judge, and he's a judge, and he's a judge. I don't know. It's just funny to me.
Date just outside of that speedy trial time frame. So right now, the trial is scheduled for October 2nd of this year. That's pretty fast for a case of this magnitude with 4 murders and a voluminous amount of evidence in this case. One thing, Jesse, that I did want to point out was that before the hearing started, there was a really touching moment between Christy Gonsalves and Maddie Mogen's mother. Christy walked up and put kind of an arm around Maddie Mogen's mother. You could tell she was kind of consoling her. Maddie and Kaylee were described as sisters. They grew up together. So it was a really
we heard all this.
Kind of a heartwarming thing to see that, because if you think about it, the killer went to Maddie's bedroom first. That is where he apparently intended to go that night. So I thought that was a really kind of an interesting thing that happened. Also, after court, I should note the attorney Kaylee.
How can they tell? Well, I guess autopsies can tell who died first, I guess. So therefore they could assume that he went there and killed her first, and that, you know what I mean? So, okay, I just answered my own question.
Kaylee Gonsalves' older sister spoke to a representative from the court and actually said, the judge mispronounced my sister's name. He called her Kayla. Her name is Kaylee. And the representative of the court said, yeah, I'm really sorry. He just made a mistake. And she said, well, it's disrespectful and it's important.
Are you fucking kidding? It's disrespectful. Like they did it on purpose. I mean, I get it. Yeah, you lost your sister. Emotions are high. You're hurt. You're sad. You're depressed. You're angry. All of it. I get it. But, it's disrespectful. Her name's Kayla or Kaylee or whatever. See, I can't even remember. I'm bad with names. Some people were shitty with names. It's nothing disrespectful about it. It's just, whoops, accident. I apologize. They apologized for it. So calm the fuck down, lady. Oh, that's so annoying. It's disrespectful. Like, dude, calm down. I know it's cool to be offended by everything these days, but obviously they did not mean it in an offensive way. They didn't mean it disrespectfully. It was an accident. You correct them and they apologize and you say, that's okay, thank you. I mean, I get it though. Like I said, I get it. Emotions are high. You're sad, angry, all of the emotions is like a wave, they come and go, whatever. I get it, but calm down, man. They did. Calm down.
That you get my sister's name right. So that was somewhat upsetting. to the Gonsalves family that she was referred to as Kayla Gonsalves and not Kaylee.
All right, and Jeanette, thank you.
Who cares? They corrected themselves. The judge or whoever it was, I forget who accidentally called her that. They corrected themselves. I mean, that's easy to do. There's a lot of people that were mispronouncing Kylie Rodney's name. I did too. Like, I think I called her Kaylee or something a couple times. I mean, it's not out of disrespect. It's just because, some people are just not very good at remembering names. And they're, it's not disrespectful. Whatever.
Great perspective right there. Really good report on what happened in the courthouse. Ben, I want to turn it to you about this standing silent. Why Kohberger would choose not to enter a not guilty plea, but just stand silent and allow the court to basically enter the not guilty plea on his behalf.
Jesse, first, good to be with you. There's some speculation that the reason he did not do that is arguably it would make it easier in the event that he and his counsel seek to make a plea at a later time and don't want to have the sound clip of him saying not guilty. That is one of the prevailing theories that I have heard.
Okay.
Were I his defense counsel and I thought this was actually going to trial, I would have wanted him to say not guilty as definitively as he said that he understood the nature of the charges against him.
I find that so interesting because even if he were
kind of weird they didn't photo the bodies being removed being such a high profile case. I think there's you know what, I'm glad that you said that because there's something weird about this that it's just, I don't know, I can't quite put my finger on it. Just like I can't quite put my finger on the whole Kylie Rodney case either. Like, there's just something strange going on here. I couldn't tell you what, but I don't know. That's a good point, though, Amanda. I think there's a lot more we don't know about in this case. Yeah. Right. I wholeheartedly agree with that. Oh, sorry. Oh, hang on, babe. I need to get another cooled compress for my stupid eye. Oh, it's driving me insane. Okay. I mean, it's not too bad yet, my eye, but it's just driving me nuts. Oh, God. Okay. I mean, they've got to have some hardcore evidence if old boy is pleading not guilty. You know what I mean? Like, he's got to be pretty confident that he's not guilty because there was a lot of evidence proving to the contrary, I mean, his DNA found there and, the dog hairs found at his house and I forget what all else. The knife thing and just, I don't know. It's going to be pretty hard. This is going to be a doozy. Hang on, babe. I'll be right back. Kind of warm in here. I need to turn. There we go. Get that air flowing, babe. Oh my God. I don't know why this stupid song is stuck in my head. That Mario, that Jack Black singing that peaches, 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 peach. I love you. That stupid song is stuck in my head. I just keep going, peaches, 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 peaches. I love you. I apologize. Okay, let's keep listening to this, see what's going on here.
he were to enter not guilty and say not guilty, he could still make a deal, right? If the one of the things that we're wondering is if the death penalty is going to be on the table, and would he plead guilty in order to spare his life? We're moving very fast here because we don't know if the death penalty will actually be on the table. But that's the thing that I don't understand is what would be the difference whether he says not guilty, he might say not guilty, he feels he can fight this case.
Ohio State residents.
Oh my God, another freaking ad. That's probably why I unsubscribed to this stupid ass channel, because the amount of ads is unreal. Kind of like if you watch Swear Garden's playback, she has lives like 5 hours long now, right? And every 5 minutes there's an ad. Like, I haven't watched her shit lately, but I assume that it's probably still the same, because if I didn't catch a live when I was in the PG cult, I would watch the playback and I was like, oh my God, ads. I get it. That's how they make money when you're monetized, but damn, I mean, come on. Anyway.
Staying silent. There's no legal reason for him to do it. He could still make a deal. I just find it so curious.
I do too, Jesse. I completely agree with you. There would be nothing to preclude him making a deal later on. I was just playing devil's advocate to some point. I would have wanted to hear him say not guilty.
Yeah, I thought that was very interesting. Unfortunately, we got a little cut off with Ann Jeanette, but I'll tell you what happened also in court. Apparently, regarding when the trial date is set, it's now set for October 2nd, 2023. Ann Taylor, who's brought...
God, October, June, July, August, September, October. I guess it's only 4 months. But it feels like, summer hasn't even officially begun yet. So it just feels like forever away. Man, is it just me, or does it seem like time just flies by, especially lately? Like, I don't know. It seems like the days are shorter. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just a weird one. I don't know. But it's like in just 4 months, it'll be October again. I don't know. I feel like the days are shorter. Anyway, let's keep watching this.
Brian Koberger's attorney said regarding his right to a speedy trial, she asked the judge to set it just outside of the speedy trial limits, and they appear ready to go for October. Do you think that's relatively quick? And it shows almost, I think, a level of confidence in their case, the defense's case.
Yeah, Jesse, that's how I read it. I think they wanted to make a show of confidence, whether that's real or pretextual, I don't know. I think as a practical matter, I think it's still likely to be pushed into 2024, especially if the prosecution does decide to go for the death penalty. And I understand they have another 30 days.
That makes sense.
60 days.
60 days. 60 days.
60 days. I apologize. Anjanette would have corrected me if you hadn't, Jesse, but they have another 60 days to make that determination.
Yeah, and by the way, I don't want anybody to think like I deliberately cut Anjanette out of this broadcast so it could just be the Ben and Jesse show, as much fun as that would be, because Anjanette's been doing terrific reporting, as she always does. But I find it interesting also with the death penalty. We know that Brian Koberger has already secured counsel, extra counsel, to fight this if this is a death penalty case. From the majority of people I've been speaking to, they are saying prosecutors will move forward with the death penalty. It's one of those cases.
He's very confident, and his team must be really confident that they can beat it, I'm curious. I am so curious to see what kind of evidence they have that proves that he is not guilty. I mean, he's a law student. He knows about this shit. And of course, his lawyers and shit know about. I mean, I'm just really curious. I want to know more. Damn it! That's the one shitty thing about us being into this true crime type stuff, because we want to know the answers. We want to know everything. We don't want to know all the information. But we can't have it. Anyways. Ow. I hurt my foot. Oh, it's from when I stepped on a piece of glass the other day. Ouchies. It hurts. Okay. Let's get through this and then we'll chit chat and whatever. And go have a porch break for sure. We're going to go have a sit on the porch.
That stands out. It meets
Oh, shit.
the qualifications. What's your take on whether or not prosecutors are actually going to go forward with the death penalty?
Jesse, I would have to agree. I think the circumstances of these murders are just so horrific. I mean, the nature of the victims, young, beautiful college kids, the fact that at least one of them reportedly, and there's a gag order effect, so we don't have all what the evidence that we might normally have, but I understand that at least one of the victims had defensive wounds. So you can imagine that there was a fair amount of fear, pain, and suffering. It wasn't just exclusively the victims being stabbed in their sleep, which would be horrific enough. But if you're going to have a death penalty, I can't imagine it wouldn't apply here.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's, even if you put aside how much attention this case has gotten, you put that aside, the level of attack, the age of these victims, the gruesome brutality of it, I wouldn't be surprised if, of course, they go forward with that.
I didn't feel like God was talking to me.
Another
I felt
one.
alone, like no one was there.
Good Lord, another one.
I do want to ask you something, and that's the fact that we weren't even supposed to have this arraignment. He was supposed to have a preliminary hearing set for June, and that preliminary hearing, we know, would have been in front of a judge. A judge would have determined if there's enough probable cause to move forward with this case to trial. It would have, the prosecution would have been able to present witnesses. The defense could have questioned the prosecution's witnesses. And yet the prosecutors, without any of us knowing, impaneled a secret grand jury of 12 to 23 jurors, and the majority of them have to ultimately vote in favor. And we didn't know this was happening. There were rumors of it. Impaneled a grand jury, and they came forward with the indictment. So this.
See, I haven't been paying any attention to this case. Ever since he was taken into custody, I haven't really been paying any attention to what was going on. So I had no idea about any of this.
This preliminary hearing was canceled, and now we had the arraignment. Why do you think prosecutors went the route of going with a secret grand jury as opposed to presenting this at a preliminary hearing?
Jesse, I think it was very clever of the prosecutors to do that, because they thereby prevented the cross-examination of some of those witnesses that otherwise could have and would have happened at the preliminary hearing.
Makes sense.
That is, the defendants would have had their first crack at some of the prosecution witnesses. This way, all of that is avoided. So the prosecution made a wise tactical choice. Goes back to your theory, though, of the defendants, and perhaps they are confident, and perhaps the prosecution is worried about some of these witnesses, because they certainly protected them, at least at this stage, by foregoing the preliminary hearing in favor of the grand jury, which they can kind of present
just by this bit of information and me just like taking it in, and I feel like this guy might get to walk. I can't say if he's guilty or not, even though personally my assumption is that he is, but I don't know. You know, like I said, everybody has the right to a fair trial. But I just have a feeling this is kind of like an OJ, OJ thing where you're like, bro, you did this, but I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, we can assume.
It's the prosecution's case at a grand jury. They can present what they want, how much what they want, what they feel is necessary to get back that indictment. They do have to present exculpatory evidence, which is what I think is really interesting here as well, is the defense has been very keen to suggest they have, or the prosecution has, exculpatory information. When I say exculpatory evidence, it's evidence that would show Brian Kohberger's innocent, that he didn't do this. Now, prosecutors have seemed to suggest that they don't know what this evidence is. It's a big thing to use the term exculpatory evidence. What do you think the defense is thinking of here? I mean, what do you think they have?
I'm not sure. As one of the other commentators on Linda's program aptly put it, if I were in the prosecutor's shoes, I would err on the side of producing evidence. You don't want anything in the event of the conviction that could come along and justify an appeal. The only thing I could think of is, there's a suggestion about the two non-victims, although they were probably victims in their own sense, but the two people who lived in the house who, thank God, did not become actual victims. The fact that they were really not in a position to identify the suspect as the killer. Maybe they're referring to that testimony. It's a little unclear, and I think the gag order makes it harder for us. I think we're kind of seeing through a glass darkly rather than having as much direct evidence as we normally would have at this stage. I'm glad you mentioned the gag order, because one of the things that's happening.
Hang on, guys. Oh my God, my eye. This is really fucking annoying. One second. Oh my God. It just keeps getting like cruddy, and I can't stand anything in my eye. Like, even if I got an eyelash in it, I can't fucking stand it.
Happening with a gag order and all this information is not being made public is, unfortunately, it's speculation. And sometimes there's misreporting and there's conspiracy theories. One of the dangers, and we're seeing new information about Kohberger all the time, and there is an outstanding issue whether the gag order will be lifted. I know different media companies have been trying to ultimately have that lifted, so there's more transparency here. But we're seeing this new information, and I want to talk to you about NBC Dateline. They reported, we can't confirm it, but they reported new details about Kohberger. One of them being that when he was a grad student, he deliberately snuck into some woman's room, her apartment, her house, and that was his way of ultimately trying to, have her get security cameras. It was a ruse for her to get security cameras. So he deliberately snuck in there and get under the pretense of, he slipped in there, and and because of that, she was alerted to the fact that someone broke in. She didn't know it was him, and then he offered to install security cameras. It's kind of a weird allegation.
It is weird.
There's also been allegations from NBC's Dateline that Kohberger's family suspected he might be the killer. They thought it was weird that he was wearing latex gloves. They thought they checked his car at one point for evidence. Now, assuming this is true, which again we can't confirm, do you think any of that information would play a role in his upcoming trial?
I think that the judge would be very careful about, in terms of allowing any of that. While relevant, it might be deemed overly prejudicial. And again, like the prosecution, wanting to produce anything arguably exculpatory, I'm sure the judge would want to be careful. In this case, judge. of allowing into evidence anything that might form the basis of an appeal. So I suspect the judge will take a conservative approach to that. But with that said, I think the prosecution should make every effort to to get as much in as they can. It can go to his modus operandi. There are a lot of seemingly odd facts about this defendant, and the nature of his studies suggests that this may be in a very perverse sense part of his graduate program. His belief that he could get away with it.
It's the one thing that we don't know is the motive. It hasn't been laid out by prosecutors. We don't know if he was specifically targeting any of them, or he was stalking them, or he was going after them for a particular reason, why he would want to do this. Again, allegedly, he's innocent until proven guilty, which now brings me to what I want to talk to you next, Ben. I want to talk to you right now about the evidence against Kohberger, the evidence we know of. Prosecutors might have more that they're not sharing. One of the advantages of going the grand jury route, not a preliminary hearing, they didn't lay everything out on the table. We don't know what was presented to the grand jury. Now, and by the way, just talking about the grand jury for a moment, the prosecution also asked the court to seal the names of the witnesses who testified at the grand jury so that they're not targeted or harassed in any way. But let's now get into the evidence. The probable cause affidavit and what has come forward after in the search of Kohberger's apartment. What do you think is the strongest piece of evidence against him? For me, I think it's the surveillance footage and the cell phone footage. Where do you stand?
No, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think those are the two strongest. I think also the tracking information about his vehicle. I think is
that is a big one. The vehicle is a big one for me, and his fingerprints being on the knife sheath or whatever the fuck. His fingerprints being on there also is a big thing for me.
Is compelling as well. Now, he could say perhaps somebody else is driving his car. That doesn't sound wildly plausible. But I think the two aspects that you mentioned were the most, and also the tracking. And I think jurors are used to that kind of evidence these days. They watch TV, they watch Law and Crime, they watch Law and Order. I think they're used to that kind of evidence, and it can be quite compelling.
Yeah, and to give everybody a summary of what that evidence is, his phone, turned off or was in airplane mode around the time of the killings, but right before it turned off or switched off the network, the phone indicated that it was headed toward the direction of that neighborhood. And then immediately comes on after the killings. So the idea would be turned it off as a way to avoid capture. Then the surveillance footage, of his car, the car that's associated with him, the white Hyundai Elantra, it's around that neighborhood. It's around that neighborhood between 3:29 and 4:20 a.m. when they say the killings happened. And at 4:20,
like there's just too much. I mean, they've got to. I am really anxious to see what Kohberger's team has proving his innocence or whatever, because there's so much evidence not proving, but evidence against him, I guess you would say, like what this dude just said. There's just so much that makes you go, yeah, this can't be a coincidence. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Let's listen to the rest of this. Then we'll chat for a minute and have a little porch break, and I'll jump off here.
They see the car speeding away from that house, speeding away from that neighborhood at a high rate of speed. And then later on in the day, I think at like 12:40 in the afternoon, Kohberger is seen on camera leaving that car and going to shop at Albertsons, which just, again, makes it very difficult for him to say that's not his car. Someone else had his phone. I guess he could say it's not uncommon for someone to visit that campus or visit that area for a night out. But remember, the cell phone footage, the cell phone evidence also indicates he was visiting that neighborhood multiple times before the killing. So I think that's the strongest. What's your take on the DNA evidence? This DNA that was left.
I
Academic Sound provides you with restriction-free
I
music.
should have known there would be another ad.
Content.
But I want to hear his
At the crime
opinion
scene on this
on
knife
this.
sheath, the DNA came back as matching the father of the. It's a familial connection to Brian Kohberger. What's your take on that?
I think again, I think that will be attacked clearly by the defense, but I think that is more. It's just another piece of the puzzle, and it looks bad for this defendant, and all of what you mentioned and the sheath. I know we're not sure that they've actually found the murder weapon, because that's part of the gag order. Obviously, that would be the real crowning blow. But all of this would make a jury think that if Kohberger was innocent, that he should be testifying. And obviously, he's got he's got a right under the fifth not to testify. The jury's not allowed to hold that against him. But I think common sense dictates.
Give me 1 second, guys. I will let this play. So, actually, I'm going to. Oh God, I just touched my eye. Damn it! Hang on. I'm gonna go and change my shirt real quick because I'm beginning to turn into a sweaty Betty. And we're going outside here in a sec, so actually I'm just gonna turn the air down a little. It's a bit warm in here. All right. That was a chair, not me.
And will dictate to the jury that they would want to hear him explain away, this mountain of evidence pointing to him.
He doesn't have to, though. It's not like a self-defense case. Wouldn't it just be more beneficial for him to strike at the prosecution's case how they collected the evidence? We know, what was it, a month ago, 2 months ago, there was an issue in terms of one of the officers who was connected to this case. There might have been turned over Brady material, that there might have been something an issue with respect to that officer, maybe not directly connected to the Kohberger case, but something that would impeach that officer's credibility in a significant way. Again, I keep going back to it seems to me Kohberger's defense feels confident.
Absolutely, and I think if they can succeed in going after the investigation and the investigators, and they poke some of the holes in the DNA and this other evidence, they may not face the dilemma of putting their client on the stand. It's going to be a very difficult decision for the defendant and his counsel what her recommendation to him will be, but a lot of it will depend on how successful, as you point out, they are in attacking that evidence.
And by the way, talking about evidence, the evidence that was collected from his apartment, we know that at least 2 items tested positive for blood. We don't know whose blood it is. The 2 items, I think, were a mattress cover and an uncased pillow. They had these reddish-brown stains. Again, could be significant here. And then I know they were also looking for human and animal hair because one of the victims had a dog in the house. If that's actually the blood of one of the victims and that hair is tested positive for the same animal that was in the crime scene, I feel like that's a big slam dunk for prosecutors.
Yeah, big time.
Totally agree.
Yeah. And then I guess I just want to leave everybody with, and I want to ask you, Ben, real quick, what you're expecting next. Do you think a deal is going to be reached, or do you think that this is a case where they're going to fight it? Because again, the fact that you said he chose to stand silent, didn't enter a plea, maybe he's opening himself up for negotiations. What do you think is going to happen between now and October?
Well, I think they're mixed signals. I think that is speculated.
I agree. There's definitely mixed signals. Like just a few minutes ago, I was thinking, "Oh, this dude's gonna walk. He's gonna walk." But then sitting here listening to these guys and shit, and I'm forming different opinions. I'm like, maybe he'll get a plea deal, and they won't give him the death penalty, but they'll give him like life or something. Which, whatever. Sometimes life in prison is worse than the death penalty, honestly, because they find out what you do in there, especially if you're murdering kids. And some boys in the prison, they don't like that shit. I'm just saying. Anyway, there's only like a minute left of this. Let's listen to it, then we'll go have a sit on the porch and ponder.
That signals a possible deal. On the other hand, as you pointed out, Jesse, the fact that they said they're ready to go in October, suggests that maybe they are spoiling for a fight. Although, again, that could be posturing, to help their position in the negotiations. I would think she would have to be thinking strongly about negotiations. This is a case where it's quite plausible that it could be up to the death penalty, which is quite a sobering possibility.
Oh, yes, it is, and we will continue to follow it. Ben Shu, pleasure. Always great having you on.
Bada bing, bada boom.
About this. I love getting your perspective about these.
All right, well, there was that. I don't know what to think, honestly. On one hand, I'm like, old Koberger and his team must be pretty damn confident that they got some pretty hardcore evidence that will prove his innocence. Or maybe they're overconfident. They're like, you know what I mean? Like, it could be either or. It could go either way. And I don't know. I'm here for it to see what happens. Because if this dude did do this, which all signs are pointing to he did, there's always a chance, though. There's always that chance. All right. We're going to go out. You want to see Luna? Hang on. Let's look at Luna. Hi, Luna Boo. Hi, Nooner. Look at that chubby girl. Hang on. I'm not good at... There she is. Beautiful. All right, Luna, I'm going to sit down beside you for a moment and get ready. Meow, meow, meow. She's so fat, you guys. Oh my God. You should see her. Well, you follow me on Facebook, Amanda, so you see her, but she is such a chubby girl. She's so fat. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be talking because I'm pretty fat too, so I apologize, Luna. Anyway, let's ponder a little bit and just chit chat for a sec. And oh, Luna, cute little fatty. Hey, no, don't be rubbing up on the cords there, girlfriend. I will pinch your butt. Don't lay on them. What is wrong with you? Hang on. Why would you lay on the freaking surge bar? That's just asking for a fire to start. Have freaking a big fat ball of fur running around on fire. Meow. Meow. Meow for him. Say hello. Meow. Luna. Meow, 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 meow. Oh, you're not going to meow now? Look at her. Hang on. That is a chubby girl. Okay. I'm going to quit bothering you now, girlfriend. I don't know. I don't know what the frick to think about this case. I mean, my assumption, my opinion, Brian Koberger is guilty as sin. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. Opinions are not factual. I think he's guilty. I really do. But this is America. Everybody deserves the right to a fair trial and blase, blase, blase. He will get his fair trial and he will get served what he deserves. Because regardless if he's innocent or not, you might get away with killing people, bad shit or whatever. You might get away with it when it comes to the law, but in the end, you won't get away with it when it comes to karmically, spiritually. He'll get exactly what he deserves, and let's pray that he does. Just like we should pray for our enemies, those who aren't so good to us. Instead of condemning them, let's just pray for them to be better people. Oh. Oh. I dropped my phone. I'm sorry I dropped you guys. But now we should pray that they get what they deserve. Contrary to what Prayer Garden PG says, prayers are never wasted, no matter what. And more importantly, if you're the praying type or whatever, pray for the victims' families. That's the biggest thing right there, because I can't even imagine. I mean, my brother wasn't technically murdered, even though he was sold drugs that ended up killing him. He wasn't technically murdered, but sometimes it felt like it. You know what I mean? But it wasn't. He wasn't. Well, I just the waves of anger and depression and confusion and denial and all of the stages, all the stages of grief. It's weird though, because it's not really it was like waves. It's more like waves for me than it was like stages. I mean, we've all experienced grief before. Like even to this day, like I mean, I've accepted it, so it's not as bad as it was. Like I know I'm like he's gone. There's nothing that we can do about it. But they're not truly gone though. They're still with you. They're still with you in a spiritual sense. I won't get into that though. I don't want to bore anybody. Holy crap, it's warm out here, guys. Your girl needs to be taking a jog or something. I do. Oh, I do want to get a selfie stick at some point, which on Temu I seen they're like $10 or something. Is it? It's hot there too. Yeah, like don't get me wrong, I love it. I love the hotness. I do. But and there's a nice breeze going too. So it's not like super duper like in the middle of July type hot. But I want to get this selfie stick. I found one on Temu. It's like 10, $15, something like that. I can't remember cheap, but your girl doesn't have an extra 10, $15 to blow on I know some people be like, "Oh my god, you don't have extra $10? Oh my god, you're such a broke bitch." And to that I will say, "Yes, I am." I when I get money, I buy stuff that I need, like shampoo, conditioner, body wash, deodorant, toothpaste, toothbrush, food, whatever, the essentials. I did get myself some more of my face mask stuff because for me that is essential. We ordered some Quicksilver sunglasses from Temu, and oh my god, they got some cute sunglasses on there, and they're cheap too. I was like, man, oh my god, my eye. I'm sorry. I definitely want to get me some of those eventually. They're only a couple bucks, but like I said, your girl doesn't have an extra couple dollars at this moment. I will eventually, but not at the moment. But yeah, I want to get that selfie stick and take you guys on little tours of my little it's not really a town, village, I guess you would say, my little village. People seem to like that. I mean, I like it. I like seeing people walk around and like like perfect example, Michelle After Dark, Michelle Walks, whatever. Everybody loves that channel on here. But she just goes out and walks her dogs around her little town or whatever and out in the fields. And I enjoy that. I really enjoy that. I mean, I could walk my cats. I can get them a little leash, or I could go borrow Duchess. Oh, yeah, right, girl. There is no walking her on a leash unless it's my brother walking her on the leash because girlfriend, yeah, I may be big. I may be a big gal, but that girl can drag me. When she was a puppy, she drugged me. She is very strong, and my brother and them, they live out in the country, so she's just open the door and let her go out, and she stays in the yard and everything, and she just runs free in the yard. So if I tried to bring her here and take her for a walk myself, oh, it would not be good. I'm currently going through Nerf stuff and got to post that for money. This stuff was so expensive. Yeah, it is. But right, I'm glad that you get it though. But no, you're right. That Nerf gun shit is expensive. My niece and nephew are both into Nerf, all that Nerf shit. And my mom, every Christmas she buys them like Nerf guns and stuff. Well, sis got it was Nerf, but it was like this pink bow and arrow thing, like a quiver, and like the little bows that have the little suction cups on them, and you can shoot them at the target thing. It was the Nerf brand, but I mean, it was still expensive. And then my nephew, she got this giant like Nerf shot. I think it was like Fortnite. Yeah, it was like a Fortnite gun, like Nerf gun. Yeah, girl, you ain't kidding. You ain't kidding. Especially when all the little rubber bullet thingies get lost and you got to go buy more. It's like, oh my god, 2 toy boxes full here being. That is a lot of Nerf guns. But oh my god, that sounds like my nephew though. He's kind of getting out of them unless his dad picks one up and him and his dad like shoot each other. But Sith likes them. My niece, she likes the Nerf guns, so they're getting passed down to her. There's this really cool one that they got. It's like a machine gun, and it has like like the little round ammunition things that machine guns have, like the big like things round, and you load the bullets into. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the hell it's called. I don't know much about guns. I know how to shoot them. That's about it. I'm a pretty good aim too. Ain't gonna lie, I'm pretty good. But you like put all the little things out, little rubber bullet thingies in it, and then you shuck it onto the gun and just pat 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 like a machine gun. It's cool as shit. I don't know what was worse, stepping on Legos or being blasted in the. Oh, I know. I know. Oh, my nephew and my brother are really bad. If there's one nearby and you bend over to pick something up, you're going to get it right in the butt cheek. It doesn't matter. They're like perfect. Right in the butt cheek. It doesn't really hurt if you're far away, but it still startles you. You're like, "Oh, what the fuck?" Right in the butt. Yeah, that's a Nerf gun. Oh my! It's literally like a machine gun. It's like pat 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 pat. That one's kind of fun. Then he's got that big Fortnite shotgun thing. Then a bunch of littler ones. All right. There's this bee that keeps flying around my head, and I'm sick of it. Hey, it's kind of weird, but my eye kind of feels better. Well, I'll be darned. I don't know. If I had to pick whether I would want to step on a Lego or get blasted in the head with a Nerf gun bullet, I don't know. That's hard because getting blasted in the face with one of those sucks, especially if you're up close. I think I'd rather step on a Lego. Personally, I think that's what I would pick. Man. Anywho, like I said, when it comes to this Idaho 4 case, Brian Koberger and whatever, like, if there were other suspects, like them, like being, oh, this is also a suspect, that I don't know. You guys, I don't mean to, I'm not trying to quote unquote victim shame because that's not what I'm doing. That's a stupid. There's so many stupid ass new terms that people are making up these days. But I'm not in any way doing that. Okay? I just have always wondered about that roommate. I can't remember their names. The roommates, specifically one, the girl, I don't know if they were both girls or one was a girl, one was a boy, but that girl, you guys will know, the one that supposedly seen him, or no, she yelled up the stairs or something because she heard something was going on. And she was like, or she was like, be quiet or something. She thought there was roughhousing or something. And she seen him or something. She supposedly seen him. And then didn't call the police until like 3 hours later. I'm not buying that may be it. That may be it. That may be her name. I can't remember, man. But that sounds right. Like, in no way, please nobody be offended by this because I'm not accusing anybody of anything. Like, those guys were victims in their own way too. I'm just thinking outside the box here. I'm not buying the whole, oh, she was in shock for 3 hours. I don't think that she just sat there shocked or whatever. I know that we all wouldn't do the same thing in a situation like that. I know we all, as being different individuals, I mean, come on. I know that we would all react differently, but I'm just not buying the whole sitting there for like 3 hours and in shock type thing. That I don't know. I just can't get with that. It's weird to me. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, you guys. It's very odd. And I'm not making accusations of anything, but think outside the box, guys. I just want to say also that I've always thought, I haven't really expressed it because if you express a difference of opinion with these people on these YouTube whatevers, that you get attacked. And I tried not to get attacked. I mean, I could take it. I mean, your girl's built out of, I got a suit of armor basically nowadays. Like, yeah, it's whatever. But I just try not to put myself in those predicaments because I do have a temper and I can really hurt feelings. And I don't want to be like that anymore. I'm trying to elevate myself. As you should too. Anybody listening to my voice right now, you should always try to be a better person. Always try to be a better person. No matter if you are already like, oh my God, the greatest little sweetie pie saint ever. You should always aspire to be better than who you are, at the current moment. Be like, I want to be better. I don't know. That's just how I think anymore. I just think outside the box. And I like to look at, as many of you do too. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of you that like to look outside the box and look at every single possibility. You're not accusing anybody of anything. You're not pointing no fingers. You're just thinking, that's what a good detective does, isn't it? You think of all possibilities, all different scenarios. Isn't that what the good ones do? I mean, we're not detectives. let me make this perfectly clear, as I do every time on not just a true crime, but on anything. I am not a professional at anything. I never went any higher than high school, grade 12 in school. I'm not a professional at any of this. This is just, when it comes to this true crime shit, this is just me being interested in this particular genre of thing. I find true crime stuff fascinating, as do all of you. A lot, like, well, not all, but most of you guys out there are the same way. You're just really fascinated. You've watched a lot of stuff. You studied a lot of stuff on your own, just yourself. You know what I mean? You don't gotta have all these different degrees. You know what I mean? You can pretty much, if you're fascinated by it, and you research it yourself, you can teach yourself. This is what I'm trying to say, I guess. But anyway, I am not a professional at all. This is just me thinking outside the box, thinking about other possibilities. And I am very curious to where this case is going to go. I'm curious to hear what the prosecution has to say. Or no, not the prosecution. Brian Koberger's people would be the defense. Yes, there we go. See, I'm not a professional. You think a professional would get that wrong? I'm dingy, okay? But yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious. They've got to be like, they seem like they are confident. Like, I didn't actually watch that whole arraignment myself. Like, I just sat here and watched, and you guys listened to what that one dude was talking about on Law and Crime. I need to pay more attention though, because like I said in the beginning of this, I have not paid attention to this case since they got Koberger into custody. I haven't paid any attention to what's going on. So I'm going to have to pay a little more attention. Anyway, October. When was it, Amanda? When is his next court date? Can you remember? I know you was here with me. October something. Beginning of October, I'm thinking. Like, was it the 2nd or the 6th or something shit like that? I can't remember. But, yeah. Sorry, guys. I was looking to see if there was anything funny. I think October something. That's what I'm saying, Amanda. It's October something. His next court date is. I'm thinking it's in the beginning of October somewhere, but I can't remember the exact date. I'm sure a quick Google would. Here, I'll do it, guys. I got the laptop out. I might as well do it. When is Brian Koberger? Okay. No, it's not the Koberger next court date. Oh, shit. 2nd. Okay. See, I thought it was the set. I was thinking the 2nd, but I was like, wait a minute. Is it the 6th? Okay. I'm glad that you said that because it ain't even popping up on Google. It's I mean, it's just popping up his last one, which was May 22nd. Any poo poo. I forgot. I have my laptop in front of me, and I was on my Facebook doing something. I think I was going to show you guys something, but then I got distracted. You guys know how I am. Anyways, I suppose that's all I really have to say about that until some more crap pops up. Is there any lippy clips that we can play that are funny? We can talk shit about. Oh, here's this one. I started watching, it seems. Let's see what this is. So, okay, says trial date is set for October 2nd, 20. Okay, gotcha. See, I was thinking it was the 2nd or the 6th. Thank you for confirming, my dearest. Where would I be without you? You're a doll. Let's see what this is. I can't remember. Got the dogs. Oh. That tumbleweed. Hypocrites and bashers. Hang on. Go back, biatch. Hang on.
I mean, you go too far. It was on her live last night. She took it down. Let me see if I can find it. It was clipped. Hang on. As the marijuana burns, you can take your turn. Singing dirty rack songs.
Okay, so this is about Miss Daisy here. It looks like it's Miss Daisy talking shit, probably talking shit about PG, because that's what they do back and forth. But you see, I haven't been paying no attention to Cow Lady, which I despise just as much as I do PG. Let's see. This is probably her response to the last thing that we watched when Prayer Garden was talking shit.
No, Cassie, you're not blocked, baby. We're not blocking people no more. Where you been, Cassie? There's Denise. Hey, Kiki.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's another, hang on. I gotta fix my eyeball. That's another reason, like not the main reason, but it's also, if Cow Lady wasn't an exploiter of Summer, I still would not like to frequent her channel because they are constantly talking over each other. That is annoying. I cannot stand hearing that. If you don't have good rapport back and forth going on, whatever. If you don't have a good back and forth go, then you probably should do something else. I don't know. It's just unpleasant to my ears. I don't know. Maybe you agree.
Hang on. Amanda, sing it with me. 45 and 266. Okay, let's listen to this first, Jinkies. I got put the hell in the cell last night, y'all. Here we go.
They must watch Lippy. Daisy and Jinkies watch Lippy.
The devil put me in hell in the cell. Work.
Because that's what you're supposed to do. Right?
That's right.
That's what was telling her behind the scenes. And I told Sunking the same thing. Right? Because she'd make it work. He was willing to try. She wasn't blind. Because she's fucking old Chillbilly. Woo!
I don't know who Chill Billy is, but I hate the loud squeals. I just can't take it. Yeah. It's too much.
That's what it is. She's got some dirty ass mud crawler crawling around up there with it. Exactly.
Okay, this is This is Cow Lady and her sister Jankies reviewing PG, and we're reviewing Lippy. It's a lot. But no, okay, so this is basically Cow Lady and her sister talking shit about PG. It's just a little part of the back and forth. Why? I mean, I'm glad that we're watching Lippy, because I support Lippy, because she calls people out on their stupid shit and does these clips. And I could not bear to go and sit down in any of these chats and do do this. So I applaud her when it comes to that. She is a brave soldier. But yeah, I am a firm believer that people need to be called out on their stupid shit. Okay.
Exactly. The back door, probably the front door and the side door and every other fucking door. I mean, look, right?
Oh my God. I'm sorry.
You can see five guys, they would never meet up with one another. That's right. Trash out. Right. That's what I'm talking about. I'm tired of you keep running your fucking sut on me. You need to shut the fuck up. Your shit out here.
Running your sut. Running your sut? Hang on. Google. Let's Google the term running your sut. No, that's running your sut. Obviously she's talking about running your mouth. But I have never heard that expression, running your sut. I've never heard that. I almost put slut. Okay, sut is I actually looked it up. What does SUT stand for? What does it stand for? System under test refers to a system that is being tested for correct operation. Yeah, I don't think SUT is a way to. I don't think that's an expression. Running your SUT, meaning your mouth. Oh, here we go. What does SUT mean? S-U-T, SUT. SUT means teat or nipple, artificial nipple, comforter, dummy, pacifier, a rubber or plastic device imitating a nipple, slipper. So, according to Wiktionary, a SUT is a teat or a nipple, like a pacifier device simulating a nipple. It's an artificial nipple. I don't think PG's too bright. I'm sorry. But whatever. She's not good at insults because she's not witty. She doesn't have charisma. I mean, regardless, you got to be kind of witty to be able to insult somebody in a way where, I don't know, like, I've grown such a backbone made of, like, solid fucking steel that you could give me the worst comeback you could think of, and if it's witty and a good one, then I'm like, damn, I got respect though. Like, yo, yeah, that kind of hurt my feelings, but I respect it because that was some good shit. You have wit, and I respect that. But she's not really witty. Whatever. That's neither here nor there. I don't think I even want to listen to this. It's not even interesting anymore because it's just going to be. I've already watched it once. I just can't remember.
Here because your fucking bitch ass put it out here. Would you apology? You nasty fucking fuckhead. Don't come talking shit to me. Don't come talking shit to me. Quit talking shit about me.
Well, PG, maybe you should stop talking shit about them too. You know the best way. You know the best way to get back at Daisy, or the best way for Daisy to get back at PG, would be to ignore them. Don't send your little trolley poos to each other's channels. Completely ignore each other like you don't even exist. Block if you need to. Pretend they don't exist. That is the worst thing that you could do to one of these people, is pretend that they don't exist. That will get them more than a hate watch, more than a making a video dedicated to them, like anything. It'll get them. I'm telling you. Just ignore each other. Pretend they don't exist. But you know why they can't ignore each other? Is because they feed off of each other. Their little feud is bringing the views. When there's a feud, it's called selling drama. And PG, I know that some of you will disagree with me when I say this, but it didn't always feel like that with PG. Because back when I was rocking with the bitch, the vibe, and a lot of people have quit going. Like, there's probably very, very little original PG cult members left over there. But a lot of them has seen it. They seen the downfall. They're like, whoa. It was like the veil was lifted, you know, like the Wizard of Oz and shit. Like that curtain opened and we were like, wait a minute, you're not who you portray yourself to be. A lot of us seen it. It's disappointing, but I understand. I don't even know if I want to watch the rest of this though. My eye is driving me nuts. And
horrible, y'all. The abuse we've had to put up with.
You're nothing but freaking nasty ass.
For $1, Chillbilly, for $1.
I don't even know who Chillbilly is. I don't even. They're just going to talk over each other and bash each other some more and be lonely, sad old ladies who have nothing better to do with their lives. I'm sorry. I don't even care anymore. And no offense. I mean no offense to any older ladies that may watch this, because I respect my elders. And some of my favorite people to talk to are older ladies. Like, I would so much rather go and like do shit with my mom than I would like friends my own age. I'm like, Mom, why don't we go to the mall today? And she'd be like, oh, that sounds kind of fun. You want to get Chipotle? Because that's her favorite. Oh my God, I wish I never would have introduced her to Chipotle. That is her favorite freaking food anymore, is Chipotle. We had it the other day. I was out here loading the dishwasher or doing something. She's like, hey, how does Chipotle sound? And I was like, I wouldn't mind some Chipotle, get some guac, you know. They got this chicken that's really good. This new chicken, I forget what it's called, but it's good. Put some guac on that shit. But she goes, I know, I haven't had it in like a month. I started laughing like, mother. I haven't had it in a month. I need my fix. That woman, it's a good thing that the nearest Chipotle is like 45 minutes away from us, because that woman would eat it for breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever. Anyhow, all right, babes, I'm gonna jump off here. I figured we just, after talking about that horribly disturbing, tragic event, maybe we should leave with a little lightheartedness, just chilling. Bring the vibe back to a cool level, because I don't know about y'all, but if I can consume too much of this true crime stuff, it just ruins my vibe. You know what I'm saying? It fucks with my energy. And I'm like, I can't. Even though I'm fascinated with it, very fascinated with it, I am. I mean, we all are. But we got to minimize, if you're sensitive to energies and vibes and shit like that, try to limit your consumption of this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? It's okay to be fascinated with it, but don't go on binges. See what I'm saying? Picking up what I'm putting down. I used to binge on this shit, and it's not good for your vibe, for your energy or whatever. There's got to be some lightheartedness, some giggles and laughter and shit, just down to earth, whatever. Positive energy. Anywho, we're definitely going to keep an eye on this case, though, because now I am intrigued. October 2nd, we will know more, and we'll talk about it probably around then. But until then, in case, unless something big happens, we'll talk about other stuff. We're not like the rest of them. We don't have to keep pushing the same cases, the same, so we can get some views. Sorry. We're not exploitative over here. But we will talk about it when there is important stuff, important updates. That's how it should be. That's how you should do it. Respectfully. Big word. Word of the day. Respect. I love you guys. Mwah. If you haven't done it already, please consider subscribing to the channel and giving the video a little likey, pretty please. With sugar on top and a carrot. Mwah. Thank you. It's a free way to show your girl some love. And I love love. You know that. Who doesn't love love? If you got anything that you want to talk about, also, I always post in the community tab. Go over there. If there's anything you want us to look into or research, leave a comment on my latest post on the community tab. Okay? I'm always open for suggestions. Love you, Amanda. Mwah. Thank you, everybody who came in and popped in. Thank you, everybody who watches the playback. I love you. I appreciate you all. I wish you health, wealth, success, and happiness. Blessings and protection on all of your houses. I love you guys. Mwah. Talk to you tomorrow. Okay? Bye-bye.